serving customers for a while now, and we're ready to clean this machine out. Pre-planning for cleaning the machine out, we let it run low on mix, and that's why it's saying to add mix, so it's a little bit low on top. But now what we're going to do is we still have frozen milkshake in here, so we're going to switch this to clean. And we're just going to let that run for a couple minutes, and it'll beat up the product a little bit, and it'll get it to soften up so it comes out a little easier. Alright, so we let the machine run for a few minutes on clean. So now what we're going to do is take our mix feed tube out of the top. That'll let the mix drain through quickly. And then we're going to pull the handle and just allow the mix to come out. So you can reuse this mix the first time if you clean it twice a week. The first time you clean it, you can reuse the mix that's left over. You can't pour it straight in the machine. You can't use it to prime the machine, but you can mix it 50% fresh mix, 50% this is called rerun. You can mix it together and you can run it through after the machine's running. You can add it to the machine. The reason for that is because the process of it going into the barrel and being frozen whips air into the mix, and because this dairy already has air whipped into it, you don't want to try to rerun it by itself through the machine. It'll come out tasting funny. So by mixing it with fresh mix, you won't. It'll be fun. Okay. Now we've taken the mix out. So this is the mix that we're going to go put in our walk-in. We're going to cover it, date it, put it in our walk-in, and we can use it again tomorrow morning after we prime the machine and after we clean it out. So I'm going to get a couple of buckets of water, flow them through the machine, wash out so that we're getting clear water coming through before we do a disassembly. Now that we've ran water through the machine a few times, we ran it through enough to get clean water coming out. That flushes out all the particles of mix. We still have a thin sheen of milk fat on our machine before we disassemble it. We'd want to break that down. To do that, we're going to use the Sheen sanitizer. And what we're going to do is mix this packet with 2 gallons of warm water. We'll whisk this up. I'm going to let that fill up the barrel a little bit, and then we'll run it on clean. by running the Sterichine through, after running our water and flushing the system out, now we're ready for disassembly. Alright, so now we're ready to disassemble our machine. The tool we're going to need for this is our disassembly tool. This allows us to get into the gaskets and pull them off without ripping or cutting any gaskets. What we're going to do to start is start with the top. We're going to pull out the mixed flow light indicator, put that in our bucket. We have our mixed feed tube. We are going to pull it apart, and this one actually, you can just pull this gasket off with your finger. You shouldn't need the tool for this one, it's pretty easy. And the same thing. Well, you can use this one for this one. It's easier to start with the one that's farther, gasket that's farther away. So it slides over the front one, it doesn't get caught in the front groove. Okay. The tube's in there. So now we can take our blender apart. If your machine is the machine that has the blender on it, just want to remind you guys that this is a very delicate blender. It runs nice and smooth, it's very balanced. But if this falls and it hits this shaft at all, it will definitely knock it out of alignment. You'll get all kinds of crazy vibrations and it's not going to work properly. So we recommend being very careful with that. So we're going to put that aside. Take our plunger rod out, in our bucket. Our handle slides right off. We can open up our head. And we might get a little bit of dripping. I let the water come out, but there's always a little bit of water left in there. Oop. That's a little more than I thought it was going to be there. Sorry. We got a tray there to catch it. So we have our plunger that came out of the head. And again, we're going to pull the gaskets off of there. Our plunger, and then the door gasket comes right off, and the head is fully disassembled. Slide the bushing off the front of the beater, pull the beater out, and now we have our two blades, 1, 2, our rear main seal. And you can see how there's just a white film on everything. We did run water through it, but it's not going to pull the milk fat off. So that's something that we have to do in the sink by washing thoroughly. Okay, that's all clean. We'll put our removal tool in there to get cleaned. For this machine, we're going to wipe out the top. We're going to wipe out the barrel. We have a brush that fits down in the hole between the hopper and the barrel. We're going to make sure we get that all cleaned. Rinse it all out really well with sanitizer afterwards. Wash all of our parts. We're going to wash and then sanitize them all. And we're going to set up our table here to put all the parts out to air dry until tomorrow. We'll let the machine and the parts air dry. Tomorrow we'll reassemble and be ready to serve milkshake.